I've got this. The arsenal.
You've got Arsenal. Got a pain in the arsenal.
Pain in the arsenal. Pain in the arsenal.
My arsenal's been going quite well recently, actually. I've been selling hand over fist. You got to be careful when you fist the arsenal, you know. But it's been all right. I've enjoyed selling.
Rich, we're actually live right now. I'm just letting you know that.
Well, I was hovering over the button, but I have clearly pressed it, like so. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for letting us know.
Why don't we say hello to everyone?
Do I have to? Well, all right then. I need to actually pull the live stream up on my phone then and pay attention to these things.
I've actually, I'm not particularly technologically astute, so I got my camera here, I got my computer here, watching the chat.
So yeah. I've got the camera on my laptop, which is the drizzling shits, which is one of the reasons I haven't got it on. There I am.
There we go. I was wondering why I didn't get the courtesy of
experience. Yeah, I look so fucking rotund. It's fucking disgraceful.
It's all about angles, and it's about
And the camera puts on like fucking 10 pounds
at least,
as does all the food. The food will put on a considerable amount as well, you know.
Yep. Agreed.
Have you seen my cup? Do you like my cup? I'm gonna drink this cup.
It's strong. I've actually got I did bring 2 drinks. I've got my Good Grief.
Good Grief. Mug. I'm a fan of Good Grief. What's his other one?
So I'm glad you asked me onto the live stream. Today was like, it's rainy and drizzly, and I'm like doing taxes, cleaning the house, and doing a Rich Mitch live stream.
That's it. I mean, these things come in threes, you know what I mean? Like
they do. It is absolute hell.
You should be safe tomorrow, at least, you know, when you do actually return to your place of business. You get all the fucking bad shit out the way.
Yep.
Fucking I've had a headache for 3 days, but apart from that, I've just been dead tired. Like, I decided to go into town on Friday to try and do some bits, and I was in a shop and an old man fell down some stairs, so I fucking promptly shit myself when I seen that.
And then you started laughing?
Well, that might have been what set the headache off, like. But I was like, oh, fuck. And then it took an hour for the ambulance to arrive. So I was like,
oh, man.
Cheers, friends. If he dies on us, I may very well follow him, you know. So I've been okay.
What's your scent of the day?
Ooh.
Let's get into it. This
is my scent of the day. It's good to know that you are one of the first viewers to see my fucking my fragrance rotation, which I did today. This is Paddock.
What? Let me see the dent in that. Let me see the ding in that thing. Holy, you've decanted it for people, right?
Yeah, I've sent about 15, 20 mil out to people, but there's a good 35 kick. Yeah, there's a good 30 to 35 mil missing out of this. You know, I've used at least 10 to 15 mil, I believe. I wore the shit out of this last year. It was one of my most worn last spring and summer, and I do use this as a spring and summer perfume because it smells like the happy outdoors. You know, it smells like the happy outdoors. It smells like, to me, it smells like British summertime. It's got horse, and there are horses in this country, and it's got hay, and I live next to fields which used to get mown for hay. And it's got horse shite, which is just it's just laden with horse shite. And it's got some honey, which I've been known to imbibe in. in my time. Just it went wood, you know, bit of leather. Leather's probably the most foreign. Leather's probably the most foreign object in this perfume to my experience. Like, but I can now honestly say, as can you, that I own the vintage Paddock.
That's all that matters. This is an entire, this live stream is the flex. That's all it is.
It's a massive flex. There you go,
Mhm.
2024. I can, in fact, confirm. Don't tell anyone this, but I can confirm that I got 2 bottles, one for Fliss and one for someone called Tim. And Tim sent me a little decant of the 2025,
Ah.
and it's exactly the same perfume.
Mm-hmm.
So
You said it is?
It is, yeah. It's exactly the same perfume.
You're not supposed to say that.
No, I know I'm not supposed to say that, but what we can say is that we've got the vintage presentation. I've actually got a backup of the vintage presentation. You know, because they changed the sticker. It's no longer the fetching horse with hands on its face.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Have you
Well,
seen? Sorry,
I was going to say. Well, yeah, I've actually. So, I will say that my use of Paddock is far less than yours. It's pretty much full.
oh, Chateaubriand.
I would say probably 5 or 6 wears.
Oh, that's poor.
I know.
That's outrageous.
You know what? I actually, so I wore it the other night. I know we were talking about doing a Paddock live stream with Eugene. All right. So we, waxed lyrical about it for, 3 or 4 hours. But I put it on the other night and I didn't find it particularly challenging.
That's interesting.
Now it's not easy. I can't imagine anyone really probably wearing this all that much, but it didn't shock me all that much.
Right.
But it's also something that I probably wouldn't wear unless the occasion really struck me.
Okay.
Now, granted, after I put it on, my wife was about 20 feet away, and she started looking around the house to see if the dog had taken shit on the floor.
Get in.
She was like, "What is that smell? What is that?" Yeah.
But it was you.
I know.
Shit on the floor.
I don't know what to say.
Took an absolutely outrageous poo on the floor. I'll tell you what, right? I don't know that I find it challenging. I kind of feel like you. I don't know that it's a challenging wear, but I also think it's not a boring wear. It's interesting enough. It's interesting. And I think it's more interesting because Hermes made it. And I think that because Hermes made it, and it's so outside of their kind of usual shtick of the Jean-Claude Elena aesthetic, that it's well worth smelling, trying, and possibly buying and owning. I think for people like us, it is. I think they've nailed it with with actually like the limited release thing.
Okay. So I sprayed it and it's fabulous right now. It is fabulous. Oh God. Maybe it could also be one of those things where it's like, it just has to be the right time, the right place. Maybe your nose needs to kind of be attuned to what you're going to be receiving. It's fabulous, though.
Do you think? I love it. I love wearing it. I get this. So I'm wearing it, so I don't really need to spray it on myself again. I get this. I get this kind of dark brown note. So it's not necessarily shit, but it's the color of shit. It's like that chestnut brown, dark hardwood, dark saddle leather that is like really stiff and makes that kind of crunching, creaking sort of noise when you use it, you know. Um, it smells like turd, horse turd, vegetarian turd. Um, it's got that, and there's like a horse. There's a horse. There's like a horse coat called chestnut, and I think that's like the perfect kind of analogy for it. It's got this dark brown feeling, you know, but then it's offset with this golden yellow hay, as if somebody's drizzled some honey over some hay, and the horse is like, "Oh, how enchanting!" You know, let me eat this, and it's a little bit sweet with its crazy mouth, you know, and it's like, that's very nice. And then there's like something a little bit spicy too.
You know, this is one of those, at least on paper, that is, it's something for both your nose and your mouth. It's something that's like you breathe in.
Yeah.
And that actually makes the experience, I think, far more interesting. It's a little camphorous. Yeah, it's kind of nutty. It's a little bit wet. But I think the thing that I like about this is it's one of those scents that, since it's, you know, simply a representation of, you know, horsiness, that it's okay to like it, but also kind of make that leap of kind of going, you know what? Horse shit, horse barns, leather, right? Hay. It's actually pretty good.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
It's okay to be like that. There are other. Have you smelled other horse perfumes?
Yeah. I'm thinking like what is it? Pierre Guillaume, like I think it's Arabian horse or something like that. I think that's a pretty horsey perfume. What else comes to your mind?
Have you smelled Epona by Papillon?
I don't think so.
It reminds me of Fahrenheit. It's got like a much darker brown leather. It's got like a leather much more in tune with this. It's got like a dark brown leather, very rich, very deep, kind of polished, and then it's got this violet leaf kind of thing going on. I get like violet from it. It's both darker and more kind of petrol-y, you know. Imagine like Fahrenheit elixir kind of crap. But then it's got horse as well. It's just got like a horse material. There seems to be a proliferation of horse about at the minute. You know, there's horse everywhere.
Yeah, I can. It feels wet. It feels a little camphorous.
Do I get wet? Do I get wet?
You know, I think it's every time I've been to a horse stable or I've been around horses, and actually, oddly enough, I've been around horses a fair amount in the last few years. Not like a ton, right? But it's always in environments that are really dry and dusty. And this is far cooler.
Yeah.
It's a little more humid, is how it feels.
Okay. I get a little bit of mouth. I get a little bit of mouth from it. Maybe even horse mouth. You know, like, you know, when you feed a horse and it's got like, it's all teeth and gums and tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I get a little bit of that about it. Yeah, it's got a little, yeah, exactly. It's got a little bit of that about it. It's got a big long head as well. And you're like, whoa, there's a lot of you. I don't get. It's not like bad breath, but I get like someone's mentioned like oatmeal. I get that kind of nutty oat kind of like in mouth though, slightly chewy. Like you're
Huh.
saying, wet.
I was trying to find. I know Eugene was talking about oatmeal,
Biscuit.
and I can appreciate the. I can appreciate that, but I'm not sure I'm getting it. I'm not sure I'm getting it.
I get like, excuse me. I get like chewed meal, like some kind of cake, biscuit nut, that kind of like not meat chew, the type of thing that a horse would meet, like a horse would eat, like would put in its mouth and then chew, and it's like it's in the middle of chewing. It's got that kind of it's got that about it, isn't it, man? It's a strange sensation. It's very strange how you can extrapolate from like smell into these kind of weird into these weird places. You can go out from honey and hay and straw and the color. I definitely at the beginning I get that honey. I get that kind of honeyed straw color, really, really mild blonde yellow kind of color.
I'm mixing up all of my paper strips. I've already lost it.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh. Not put it back with the rest.
Yeah. We live in a place that is, I mean, it's urban, but a 10-minute drive and you are in the country.
Yeah.
The thing is, around here, it's all like in our county and the one just north of us, it's all cows.
Cows?
It's all cows. But, springtime, windows down, it stinks, but in a really great way, right?
Yeah.
You still kind of get that, leather, the hay, a
little bit of grass.
Mm-hmm.
Something wet.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course,
petrichor, wet
then
ground.
you get what the, cows are leaving behind.
Oh, no.
It's difficult, but there's certainly there's a comfort to the smell.
Yeah.
It's familiar, but it's also like, oh, this is, I don't know. I probably would have complained a lot, 20 years ago, but now I kind of like it.
More about the nature.
About the nature.
All right. Got you. I've always lived in a place like that, like around where I am, where like 5 minutes and I'm in, like, not even 5 minutes, to be honest with you, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's pretty interesting. It's we get pissed off with the farmers around here because they spray shit on the fields, but they've stopped using cow shit, and they've started I swear to God this is true, right? And they had to stop because people started complaining. They were using sterilized human shit from the Netherlands. So they would pasteurize this human shit, right? And then they would import it, right? And they would spray it on the fucking fields.
I think it might be time to pivot topics.
It was pretty grim. It was pretty fucking grim. I can tell you, there was hell on about it.
Yes, I think Dahlia asks that. Well, she didn't ask a question, but I think it's interesting that they decided to import.
It's bonkers. They imported it from the Netherlands, from Holland, the Dutch grunt. You know
Do you
what I
think
mean?
there's tariffs on Holland on Dutch shit?
There could very well be. Maybe if it's not an agricultural thing, there might not be. But they were using fucking they were using apparently the Dutch grunt. Don't know why it was Dutch. I mean, the Dutch are all about their farming and stuff, advanced farming techniques. And I mean, to be fair, they grow everything in water. Everything over there is grown using hydroponics. You know.
Actually, some people have mentioned Ruad. Do you
Yes.
have that?
No, I could have had it for a very good price, but somebody else bought it. I haven't smelled it yet, and I would like to. It's extremely expensive at retail.
You know, I remember. Wait, it's the Roberto Greco, right?
No,
What's
you're
Ruad?
thinking of Roch. You're thinking of Roch.
Rock. Okay.
So
What's
Roch is Roch's got that mushroomy thing that I don't like. But you're thinking of Ruade is the horse perfume by Parfum d'Empire.
that? Is it? Okay. Yeah, the oud.
Yes, but it's horsey. It's
Uh-huh.
horsey apparently,
Hmm.
and lots of people talk about it, and lots of people love it, and I think I'm terrified of it. Like I've got the night, and that's about where I'm at as far as
That's as far as you're willing to go.
yeah, that's my perfume of that's my ill perfume of ill repute that I'm willing to wear. You know.
Yeah, I've tried it, and I
Ruard.
remember Ruad. I remember thinking, it smells great. I'll never wear it, and I think I would just as soon keep $500.
Yes. Yes. That's kind of where I'm at with my that's where I'm at with my purchasing proclivities at the minute. You know, I look at stuff and I'm like, I'll probably just keep the money now.
Well, actually, you, but like 2 weeks ago, had been saying, I have absolutely nothing that I want. But you got yourself a bottle of Paddock 2025, right?
No, I got bottles of Paddock 2025 for other people.
Oh,
And
okay.
they sent me a sample. So I got a bottle for Fliss and I got a bottle for someone called Tim. And this is a decant of Tim of the 25, and this is a bottle of the 24, obviously. And I've sprayed them next to each other. Apparently, somebody has put the 2025 batch code through a check fresh, you know, like the
Mhm.
websites,
Yep.
and it's come back as being made in 2023.
Hmm.
So, has all of this perfume been made in 2023 and they've planned to just stagger a few thousand bottles over the next 4 or 5 years?
Or maybe they're just sitting on a shelf waiting to be processed for the next what is it? The next edition Salt Hermes.
Yes, that's right. In 2026.
I'm sure I butchered that.
So they're gonna be releasing them every year, 500 bottles every year. But I did find out when my friend went and picked one up from London for me, a week after its release, there were still 4 or 5 bottles left in the store. So it hasn't been selling hand over fist, you know, and it's laid out, you know, it's like it's laid out there so everyone can see it. All the Hermes wankers who go in for their fucking bath towels and stuff. Oh, that's something else as well. Do you know the artwork? Right.
Yeah.
The artwork on here is this one, I think, is like a bath mat.
Uh-huh.
So this one goes outside the bathtub when you get out. And what's the next one? And the other one is some kind of shawl sort of thing, you know? So they're taking art, like they're taking like pieces of like materials that they've made and used and stuff, and they are putting them on the front of Paddock, which is kind of cool. I think it's, it's cool, but I like the one that I've got rather than the one that looks a bit Picasso-y with the horse on the front. I like this one. It's got a nice friendly horse with a nice friendly emo fringe, and someone is touching its face.
Oh, he kind of does, doesn't he?
It has got an emo fringe. It's ginger too. Good ginger hair.
Mm-hmm. The there was actually there was a book that came out maybe 10, 15 years ago that was actually a compilation of Hermes scarves, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It was a beautiful book, and I will say that I think if they compiled all of the scarf designs into a book and released that yearly or every other year, I would 1,000% buy it. Like those are truly, just graphically excellent.
I I saw a video, one of these little short things on. I don't know if it was their YouTube channel, but it was a channel on YouTube where they had set up a partnership with a printmaker in Japan where they print onto silk and they're the last people in Japan that do this, and they print directly onto silk with these specific kind of patterns and stuff, and they'd set up like a partnership with them, and it was very very specific. It was very very art, like high Japanese art kind of thing, and it was an amazing thing to look at, an amazing thing to watch, because I was watching. You ever seen that series? Why is it so expensive on
I know of
YouTube?
it, yeah.
By I think it's Business Insider. Like, why is it so expensive? And they've got all these different interesting things around the world. And I think it was one of those, but I might be wrong. It could have been on the Hermes YouTube channel, but it was this French woman went to Japan and she was meeting with this tiny little artisanal little boutique thing, and she was like, "Oh yes, like these designs are amazing. How they print onto the silk and stuff like that."
Yeah, I can't imagine Hermes actually willingly publishing a video called "Why Is It So Expensive" to to one of their channels.
Well, that's the shtick now. That's the luxury stick now. That's like the you can tell how much better you are than everyone by how expensive it is. It's got Hermes written on it, so it's automatically brilliant. You are automatically better than your neighbor because you've got a Hermes scarf.
Hmm. I'll remember that next time I see somebody with an Hermes scarf.
Just make sure just if they go out and they're like wearing a scarf and they walk past you, just whip out your bottle of Paddock and just say, "Aha! Mine's more exclusive than yours."
I'd probably drop it though.
Oh, don't do that. Well, throw it. If you're going to drop it, throw it at them. Just say "peasant."
Mm-hmm.
Throw your bottle at them.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would go down well in California. Have you bought anything recently?
What did I have bought a few things. In fact, so I wasn't wearing Paddock today. I've since sprayed it, right? And it's sort of like nothing else is going to get through. But friend of the channel, Paroli, I got Paris Biarritz.
Oh, you ended up buying these, did we?
I bought Paris Biarritz and then Paris Deauville.
Oh.
And was wearing this today, actually. So Sundays are sort of my like palette cleanser day, like sort of like a reset, typically. I usually go something light, something cologne-like, citrusy, fresh, easy like Sunday morning.
It was this morning.
It was this morning. In fact, yep, it has passed though. But so yeah, I got Biarritz and Deauville from him. And I think I actually prefer Deauville. It's a little more developed. It's a little bit more of a kind of a full throttle. Well, it's not even full throttle, but a little bit more of a traditional fragrance, you know.
I think I've got beer. No, I have got Biarritz, and I've used loads of it. Do you find the sprayers on those bottles awful?
Let's see here. Let's give it a shot. I compared to what?
Or just everything? Usual Chanel sprayers.
Actually, I think it's fine.
Oh, they hate me. I go to spray. I go to like spray it like a normal. I get resistance from it. I'm like, why must you like withhold from me? You know, like do as I say, and it's just like,
I'd rather have the magnetic cap.
okay,
Like I always feel like I'm gonna pull off this little like the little topper piece.
yes.
Like it's gonna get stuck in the cap one day. But no, I mean, I think I've tried way worse.
Oh, the sprayers absolutely. I'm just not a fan of the sprayers in the slightest. Like, you know, I like I like the Dior Privé sprayers. I don't know if they still use the. I don't know if they still use those sprayers. You know, but
Not.
they're it's the old Creed fire hydrants too.
Those are nice.
It just feels so satisfying to spray.
Mm-hmm.
Spray when you feel like you've accomplished something. You know what I mean?
You're like, I pay for the privilege of being able to experience a spray like this.
Yes, yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. I'm like, I've got so many shit sprayers in my collection. Like the tower ones are also appalling. Sergio Tom ones are okay. They're mediocre. If I'm being honest, they're just they do what you need, but you end up having to spray more sprays than what you would usually spray.
You know what I'm always afraid of is that with these, right, of like when I pull on it, is if I'm loosening the cap.
Right, so it's not going to have the bite.
No, I'm like, is the cap loose or not? Like, is the
Oh, the twisty bit.
and I go,
Uh,
have I used this much or is it just evaporating?
I'm terrified of that with the surgery tons. Actually, the evaporation. Touch wood, I haven't experienced any of that shit yet. But it's it's scary when you've got to apply and replay. I used to think that was amazing. I think the surgery ton thing, if you've got one bottle, if you've got two bottles, you're okay. But I've got like 25 bottles of like surgery tons, like, and that's just separate fragrances. The actual backups and everything come over to like well over 40, you know, well over 40. And I have never bought the only ones I've got Rose de Nuit in a bell jar. Scared of them bell jars as well. Bell jars, I wish they were a little bit more substantial. I've got
Yeah.
bell jars of Rose de Nuit, which is fucking brilliant. It's got one of the best honey beeswax things I've ever smelled in it. And I've got Iris Silver Mist as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. And that's in a bell jar. But apart from that, they're all bottles, and I fear the evaporation from stuff like that. Tower, I remember Eugene saying Tower used to evaporate, but I never had any problems with Tower evaporating. I think Eugene was just pressing his caps on too hard. Like if you press the cap all the way down, right, it compresses. It compresses the atomizer a little bit, right? Especially on the older ones.
I kind of wonder, like, is that just the way it was filled? Or am I
Well,
just
I've barely used this incense rose, and I keep meaning to, and every time I mean to go and spray it, I end up spraying something else. And these bottles are apparently filled with about 55 mils of fragrance. And he does that. He does that so you get more than what you're paying for, he says. But we don't, well, I don't know that. It's hard to tell when you just look at it. But I remember there being a problem because Eugene was talking about his bottles leaking as well. So he was like, I was like, are you pressing them down? Because the older ones, I mean, I love the design. I love the little, is it a pentagon? Is it a hexagon? Is it a?
It's a pentagon. Yeah.
Pentagon. I love the color. I love the bottle. The sprayers have always been absolutely fucking foul. Like they're so dinky. This is so good though. This is so good. Rose incense. It's fantastic. Have you smelled this?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it?
I love it.
Okay.
I have no room for anything else.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I do have the one that I did buy this is the only one I have, right? Is Un Rose de Kandahar.
All right.
So
wait, so that's your only tower?
The what?
That's your only tower?
My only tower.
What?
So maybe I just haven't worn what's the famous one?
Lead Desert Marocain.
I don't think I've just worn that enough to really get the hype. And to be honest, I don't like Lone Star Memories at all. I
think that might be the best one. You know, I think that might be better than Lead Desert Marocain. I'll tell you what it is about Lead Desert Marocain, right? I think that's a vanilla perfume.
It's a what?
It's a vanilla perfume. Like it's like do you know how everybody's like, oh, I love vanilla perfumes? I think it's a vanilla perfume.
Really?
Yeah. I get a spicy vanilla from it. I mean, I get other amberiness from it and stuff like that, and carrot seed and spice and all that sort of shit. But it's, to me, at the heart of it, I get a big spicy vanilla. I'll tell you what, right? It reminds me a little bit of, and this is
I should apologize to everybody for me looking around. I've got I'm reading the comments here, and then I've got like all my samples here. So I probably have LDDM here somewhere.
So you know what I've got here that's absolutely mental, and now I've smelled it, I've realised I'm completely wrong. And this they couldn't give this shit away back in the day, right? They could not give this shit away. And now I see bottles of it online for like what? 100, 200 quid sometimes. This is Baldessarini. Strictly private.
Strictly private.
Strictly private.
Okay.
All right. And they couldn't give it away. They couldn't give it away. It doesn't smell like LDDM, but it is this kind of like incensey vanilla kind of thing. I get a little bit of what do you call it? I get a little bit of Midnight in Paris.
Okay.
Van Cleef and Armpits.
Oh God.
Van Cleef and Armpits.
All right, I'm not gonna
rise.
I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
That was I love that one actually. Van Cleef and Armpits. It's I didn't like that one. That's a hype fragrance. That's a hype fragrance that I didn't really care for. You know, didn't care for it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to have to. These have lost all semblance of order. Well, for the most part, I know I've got those. I've got towers in here somewhere.
So my samples, I ended up sending a box full of strange samples to Jonathan and Ramsey last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've still got a bag and a box full of samples over there. The thing is with samples, they're just each individual one is very small, and you think that's handy, and I'll be able to just pull that out whenever I want. But when you've got 1,000 of them, right? When you've got 1,000 of them, they become extremely fucking unwieldy. And frankly, I think they may have reached sentience because you can find every single one, including ones you were looking for previously that you couldn't find, right? But you can never find the one that you're looking for. It's like Schrodinger's fucking 2 mils. It's like if you look for it, it's not there. When you're not looking for it, you can't get it out your fucking sight. It hovers over you.
All right, Rich.
What we got?
It's been years. This LDDM is actually, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I'll give this another shot.
Is it a spray or is it a dab? Is it?
It's a dab. Yeah, it's another.
Is it from Lucky Scent?
No, well, it's the same. It's the same. Same container.
Yeah, fuck them for that. I fucking hate them for that. I'm sure they do that shit on fucking purpose.
Oh, I told you they do it on purpose.
I do.
They
that
told
shit.
me.
Yeah, they do that on purpose so that you won't buy them and you'll buy bottles instead.
Yeah, I think it's probably a case of not wanting to be a decanter.
Yeah.
Although probably the margins on those are probably pretty good. It's just a lot of like
it's a lot of
crap
work.
effort, you know.
Yeah. It's I imagine carpal tunnel is like an industrial injury in that place, you know.
Oh god, yeah.
Can you fucking imagine that shit? It's mental. I once got do you know the Incense series by Comme des Garçons? I once got a sample of each of those from Lucky Scent and tried them all. And I've tried them all extensively. And I've still got every single one of them, right? I've still got every single one of them, and they've all got at least half left in. You know? It's mental. How far you can make them go just by dabbing them instead of or using the stick. You know the stick? You pull the little stick and you like wave the wand on your hand, you know? And they'll go so much further. They'll go so much further if you do that. Have you got any of those?
I'm gonna make another comment about LDDM. It's really fucking good. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good. Do you agree with me that it's a vanilla?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not just vanilla.
I think for me, vanilla has really negative connotations.
Yes.
But when I try them, I actually I react very positively. I think it's like I think it's just how ubiquitous vanilla is in everything.
Yeah. There's vanilla or vanillin in fucking every single fucking perfume. It's a bit like patchouli. You know what I mean? It's like you can it might, I mean, in present day perfume, vanilla's much more in everything than patchouli is. But historically patchouli was in everything, and now over the last 10, 15, 20 years, vanilla's been in everything. And now, presently, there is a lot more straight up vanilla perfumes. You know, they're just fucking everywhere, and it's tough. I mean, there are, because you could do a top 10 vanilla list. I mean, I'm not sure I could actually, because there'd have to be straight up vanillas actually for me, because otherwise you could choose any perfume from your collection if you were oh god, my PC, my laptop's been a nonce. There we go. If you were to, because I don't own that many straight up vanilla perfumes, but perfumes with vanilla in, I've got loads of them. But Vanille Van is one of them. Vanille Van's an absolute fucking stalwart vanilla perfume. I think Leather Desert Marrakenes. Have you tried Au Cours du Desert? Au Cours du Desert. It's the sequel. It's not a flanker, it's a sequel. That's what Andy Tower calls it.
Well, I know of it, but I don't think I don't recall.
Oh, it's just, imagine, you know how Leather Desert Marrakenes is the air of the Moroccan desert?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is kind of like, it's not up in the air. It's like it's land-based, like mist, it's like it's very much, it's got a lot more gravity to it, it's got a lot more kind of heft and thickness and gloop and goop.
Gloop and goop.
And goop, gloop and goop. It's
Mhm.
thick. It be thick.
Thick with 2 C's.
I don't know what that means. Oh yes, thick with 2 C's. I was like, what's a 2 C? Someone touched my 2 C's. It has heft. It be thick. Get a sample of that as well, but you might prefer the airiness of Leather Desert Marrakein. Spicy, like floating around dense objects, but with like air brushing through them. Whereas Au Cours du Desert, when the air is still and everything settles back down to ground level, it's lovely. Have you smelled Lonesome Rider?
I don't think so.
Lonesome Rider is the sequel to Lone Star Memories, and that's got a big Fahrenheit vibe as well. That's got it's much more kind of petrol-y, gasoline-y, like this, oh, what is it when something's very like it runs off your hands. Do you know how you can? Do you know yucca? You know what yucca is? It's a plant.
It's like, what is it?
A yucca plant. It's like this stuff, and if you take the goo and you put it in water, it'll make the water wetter. It'll remove the polarity of the water, so it doesn't have any surface tension anymore. So it just like it. Do you know how when you get like water in a glass, you'll get a little bit on the sides? That'll do that because of the surface tension.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like yucca will remove the polarity of the water, right? And so it makes water wetter. Essentially, this Lonesome Rider smells wet in that it's like gasoline through your hands. Like it'll just escape through the minute. It'll escape through the other atoms. Like the exclusion principle won't work anymore, and it'll just slip right through. It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. And Lonesome Rider is fucking impossible to find. And I got the last bottle in Europe.
Oh, okay.
It was discontinued for a last time. And there was a guy from Portugal, shout out to João. And I met this guy called Ricardo from Embassy Perfumes. And just before Brexit sort of took hold, I was in touch with him. We did a few deals, and he sold us the last bottle of Lonesome Rider.
You gonna drink?
Oh, we're gonna drink together. Cheers, big ears. Dreamy.
So what's the next perfume you're gonna ask me if I've tried and haven't?
Okay. I've got 2. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let me just put Paddock back there. I've got 3, actually. I've got 3. One, I think you will have tried, but whether you've got it or not, I don't know. This is another perfume I bought this year. It's called Bryn de Réglisse.
Oh my god, I love that.
Bryn de Réglisse.
You know that I've got this. We talk about it.
Yes.
This is so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh, it's fucking brilliant, is it not? The smell is incredible.
You know what I've said about this is it's like if they made a perfume from the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory's fizzy lifting drink.
Yes, I've heard you say that before. Yes.
That would be the taste of this.
Interesting. It tastes a little bit, I don't want to say purple because I'm being prompted by the cap, right? But it's got this kind of you know how gourmand is what foods taste is what foods smell like. Like you've got a class of perfume called gourmands because they smell like types of food.
Well, yeah, like they're typically sweet.
Yeah, exactly. But what would you say is the class of perfume called that smells like drinks?
Let's see. I don't know. Somebody in the chat's going to be able to answer this for us.
Someone will do something. But this is like the wet form of a gourmand. This is like, it does taste like something you would drink. Like, it's got that kind of fizz pop kind of thing, but also it's got that kind of, do you know how, I mean, I'm turning 40 this year and you're like
Younger.
about 60. And and then we'll remember older drinks from like the 80s and like drinks that were conceived in the 70s and the 60s. They all had this kind of, there was a kind of depth to them that there isn't to drinks that are around now. I don't know whether it was because we were younger and you could taste more things. You know, maybe we've just like nuked our taste buds with all the shit that's around now. But this has got like a dandelion and burdock kind of vibe.
Have you ever had lavender in a drink?
No.
So
I've had the ice cream.
Okay. So there is, at least in the States, right? There's a company that makes lavender simple syrup that, of course, is probably already artificially flavored. And there's also a soda company, like niche soda, called Dry. And they make a lavender soda. And so it's a little bit, it's like lavender essence, a hint of sugar, and then carbonated water, right? And it's really refreshing. And it's not syrupy at all. It's like a lighter version of Brandy Release.
Interesting. But it does have licorice. Because I get the licorice, because this is like, imagine au noir as a cake, and you took out a slice of the cake, and it was the slice where the lavender and the licorice were, and you just take that out and just take a bite of that. This is lighter than au noir, obviously, because it doesn't have the immortelle, but it does have that licorice. It does have that licorice lavender thing, and it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. But you know what? Speaking of sodas, let me grab something here. Oh, here we go. The Comme des Garçons synthetic soda.
Outrageous. I don't have a clue what this is.
They actually re-released all of these in, there was like the synthetic series. They came in those like 50 ml like ceramic bottles. But this was like the original, right? It came in a plastic container. They had like Garage and what else did they have? So they had Garage, soda, birthday cake. But this actually, I was hoping that it would actually smell like cola.
Right.
At least when I got it. It's actually far more, oh God, there we go. It's got like a little bag inside of it.
Oh God.
It's way more like musky 7-Up. It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Oh God.
Oh, it's not good.
So
I don't.
Do you get soda from M7?
No.
I think I get soda from M7. I get it from Escada Magnetism.
Yeah.
You know, that smells like soda.
Shit.
Shit.
So the one that I do have that reminds me a lot of soda, and it's complete trash, is Killian's Born to Be Unforgettable.
Fucking everything about that brand's so fucking trashy.
Oh, this is such garbage. And you know what? It's great. It is complete trash, but I kind of love it. I mean, it smells like Coca-Cola.
You get some fragrances that smell like shit and you love them. You know what I mean? I don't mean like actual shit, but like some fragrances that are just genuinely poor and you think, well, this is absolutely fantastic and I love it.
Which is sort of like it's like trashy. It's like a trashy, it's fun. It's like a one-liner. It gets old really quick, but every once in a while you kind of like to go back to it.
You just like to smell it. You wouldn't wear it.
I think I'd really have to be in the mood.
Yeah. It's not something that I can wear. Isn't it funny how you can get some perfumes that are really avant-garde and interesting and artistically like have a lot of integrity and they're fun and they're well made, but you can't imagine actually smelling like that. And then there are some things which are just, you think, well, this is just basic fucking shit. But when you put it on and you wear it, you're like, I can just wear it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's mental. It's mental how there's some stuff that isn't good, but you can still wear it. And speaking of which, this is one of the perfumes I wanted to ask you if you are familiar with. This is Parfums Oris Tattoo.
No, I'm not. I've only tried one from the brand.
Which one? Is
It's called like Totally White?
Right.
It's fine.
This is flat. This is flat. This is really flat. It smells like
You're insulting Paroli right now. You're insulting Paroli in the chat.
I'll tell you what, right? I'll tell you
and
what
Mitra.
This. I'll tell you what it is. I like to insult as many people with as few words as possible. I'm extremely good at shit like that. This right it smells like hand cream at someone's house who can't afford really good hand cream. They can only get like supermarket's own hand cream, and it's decent, it's nice, but you know it's not diptyque. You know that it's not like what's that one that does all the wedding fragrances that the guy from L'Artisan said, Sisley. It's not like that really upper class, like it's that, but the want to be and the will be one day if they could afford it, and the want to have nice smelling hand cream. But this is just flat. It smells. It's like synthetic iris and a little bit of cedar. And it's really, 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 really useful. I mean, look what I've done to this. I have put a big hiding on this bottle, like at least 15 mil, right?
Well, I remember there was a period of time where you actually did like that.
I do like it. Like it, but I only like it. I don't love it. I don't have deep affection for it. I don't think about it when it's not there. You know, I don't. I remember asking Thomas about it, and Thomas was like, "It's a brilliant perfume. And he's, but the thing is, he's right. It's perfect for what it is, for what you want." And I got it half price. The retail price was 180 quid. If you've paid 180 quid for this, and I mean, fuck, you've had a beast. But I got this for about 80, 90 quid on a sale, and it's fucking fantastic for that. For that price, it's absolutely brilliant. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome, and yet it's just the utility of it. I don't know if it's because it's so useful and so like easy, like Sunday morning. There's a callback, but I don't know if it's the presentation, although it's brilliant. I mean, the presentation's very clever because it's doing that thing that I was saying to Eugene to do a few years ago. Make the label do the work, get the bottle, and just get the label, make the label do the work, and then when you're in you can get your own bottle another time. But it's, I don't know if I want more. I don't know. What is it with you? I just find it flat. I think what you get after, like, it's not even 5 minutes, it's 2 minutes. Like, it smells great. It smells great, but it's just a flat line, you know? It's a little bit cold, it's a little bit dead. It's a little bit hand cream.
Is it the one liner that's sort of run its course? It's not really
Yes,
charming
it's
anymore.
witty, it's funny, it was hilarious the first time you heard it, and then everybody started saying it because they watched the same program, and like the law of diminishing returns after like it got used and diluted, and people were trying to, because they got a laugh the first time they said it, it felt good, so they keep trying to use it and shoehorn it into different situations. You know, they've pushed it too far.
I will say this conversation has actually got me. It's useful because it's actually making me think, shit, I think I could, like, why do I still have this? Like, why do I still have this?
Yeah.
I will never wear it.
Yeah. I got, yes, that is how I came to sell 176 perfumes on eBay. They are, that is the amount of completed, and that's just on eBay. That's not to people I know off eBay, which I could probably put another 75. You know, I've sold at least 250 bottles of perfume, and I've still got, and that's separate, different perfumes as well. Like, I've still got I've still got hundreds and hundreds of perfumes, and I've still got quite a few more to sell that are up on eBay. And my kind of criteria was, can I imagine not having this? No, it's kind of the opposite of can I imagine not having this? Can I not imagine having this? Would I be like, oh, I need to get a bottle of that if I sold this? You know, do I wear this? Do I ever wear it? Do I think about it? Or do I just like the smell of it?
Mm-hmm.
And I have been guilty in the past of buying things that I like the smell of that I'm not going to wear.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still guilty of buying stuff that I haven't even tried.
Right. Yeah. Blind buying.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it once this year. I did it with Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense. But that has got to be one of the only blind buys. I mean, I could count on one hand the amount of blind buys I've made in the last 2 years, maybe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's very few. Whereas a lot of my collection has been blind buys, and a lot of them extremely successful. You know,
Yep.
there's been hardly any sort of like scrubbers and stuff like this. I think I blind bought this. Actually, this is the last perfume I wanted to ask you if you'd smelled. Mar Liberté
Dude, come on.
by Jean Patou.
What the hell is wrong with you? Let's see, I've got... Not only do I have it,
He's got a back.
but I have a backup.
Fuck. He's got a backup. That's outrageous behavior. It's so fucking good.
You know what? I do not need backups, but this is like one of maybe 5 that I think is worth having in the arsenal. Like 100%. It is incredible. Incredible.
One of the finest perfumes in my collection. I keep thinking about making this video where I do, like, it wouldn't be a top 10 because I wouldn't be able to do it. There's like Balenciaga Pour Homme is my favorite perfume, and then there's a big sort of like cloud of perfumes underneath that just go round, and like one will be closer to the top, and then it'll, like a lava lamp kind of thing. Like they'll rotate underneath Balenciaga Pour Homme, and this is.
It almost sounds like sort of the hierarchy of like Greek gods. Where there's sort of like there's sort of like Mount Olympus. Wait, is that it? I don't even know, but
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think about doing this video where I do not my favorite perfumes, but the perfumes I think smell the best in my collection, like the best smell, like Rose de Jamal. Rose de Jamal is one of the best smelling perfumes. Like, I put that on, and I know other people are going to think it's quality. That other people, like, I think it's quality. I'm confident they're going to say it's quality, and if they're not, I'm going to be able to confidently say to them, "You're wrong. You're a fucking idiot. Why do I fucking know you?" Do you know what I mean? I'm struggling to say what like the difference between my favorites and like I suppose I'm trying to choose between objectivity and subjectivity, and I'm trying to be like, this is one of the objectively best smelling perfumes I own. Like, I don't think that there's necessarily like, I think you could smell this and not particularly like the smell of it and still say that's amazing.
It's kind of like maybe walking through a museum and saying that is objectively phenomenal, but it's not for me.
Yes. That is what I mean. Like, that is like like the talent, the skill, the ingredients, the palette, the way that it's been made. Like, I can't even begin to fathom being able to construct such a thing myself. That really impresses me. Like, if I look at something, or if I smell something, or if I see something, anything, and I think, oh, I could, I mean, like, not now, but like at some point I could probably achieve that level of like quality myself. Then I'm like, well, but if I see something and I'm like, I am hopelessly fucking like impotent in front of this greatness, then I get really impressed by that. I'm like, wow, that's actually very, very fucking good,
Well, then you could also do the opposite, right? Which is this is a fragrance that is objectively shite, and yet I love it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like the banana taped on the wall.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. You could absolutely do that, and that would be an interesting video to do as well for you, Galen. Which you should.
I guess it would probably include this Killian, Born to Be Forgettable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Still Born to Be Forgettable. Just allow me to lower the tone.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Yes, if you would like to like this stream, friends, all 82 of you. There were 84 at one point.
Good Lord.
I'm getting a nosebleed. But if
Bunch
you
of
like to like
bunch
the
of
stream,
losers hanging out on a Sunday with us dorks.
that's right. I mean, what time is it where I am? I mean, the clock went forward here last night, so really it's 8:30. So, but it's actually like 9:30.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it's mental. Shane says, okay. Blind bought a Balenciaga pour on for 30 mil for ridiculous blind money this week. Just blind bought the two. If this continues, I may have to unsubscribe. You know, but at least you'll smell better than you did before you subscribed. You know.
You know,
So,
I will say I didn't mean the dorks as an insult.
well, no, I mean, just look at you. You wouldn't insult other dogs, would you?
No.
The other nerds. I would never pass for a nerd. You know, I don't know what I'd pass for. A duck. What else do I have to ask you if you have smelled? I've got one here. Oh, you won't know this bottle because I had to decant it. But this is Curation. Can you see my head in the background? Oh, that's weird.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Let's go full screen on that.
How am I going to do that? How do I do that?
There we go.
I look like. Do you remember Power Rangers? Do you remember Zordon from Power Rangers? It was the guy who played Walter White in Breaking Bad.
Okay.
He was basically a head in a jar, like.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? This is Corregia's right? And it's an aldehydic aromatic carnation oak moss amber. And it's madness.
Rich, I have a feeling I may have that.
Outrageous. It's got a bottle with crazy ridges on the side, right?
No, meaning I probably have a sample of it.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's somewhere in here.
Oh, fudge.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna look. I'll look later.
Yes, you can tell us later, and I'll revert back to people with the thing. But it's very 70s. It was the perfume that Gerard Anthony made after Azzaro Pour Homme, and before Balenciaga Pour Homme.
So you love it.
Sorry,
you love it.
I loved it more the first time I smelled it than I do now. It's a very tough wear. It's that thing I was talking about earlier. I like the smell of it when I smell it from the cap, when I spray it on my hand, and I wear it as like something I can just do that with, you know. But as a perfume to wear all the time, do I like it? It's tough. It's very tough.
Cool. Tell you what, Rich. Actually, I think I need to take a quick break.
Okay.
I'll be back in 60 seconds.
In 60 seconds, right? Someone timing. Go. Okay. Galen is going for a huge dump. He was telling me earlier that he's been eating through house and home, and he was expecting this to happen. And I said, don't worry, Galen, I won't tell anyone. Okay. I hope you are enjoying the stream, all 86 of you. I think Galen's gone to let the dog out, because that's what he was referring to it as before. You know. How is everyone? Are you enjoying the stream? There are 84 people here. I think we should all try and peer pressure Galen into making more videos, you know, because the motherfucker, he put out a video for the first time in about a year, a few weeks ago, and he got like 100 subscribers or some mad shit like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, yes. No doubt. You know? He's popular, but he refuses to admit it.
How did I do?
We're just talking about someone else.
No, I meant like, was somebody timing it?
Oh no, I think you were about 1 minute and 20.
All right. Well,
You're back.
I know.
Um,
I feel like I should ask you if you've smelled certain things, but I'm not entirely sure what to actually choose from.
I don't know what to choose from either. I just kind of looked at shit and I was like, oh, I wonder if he smelled that. I was surprised you had a mighty pair. Fuck's sake. You had a mighty pair of Mar Liberté. You know,
That is a fabulous piece of work.
it is brilliant. It's got that big sandalwood thing. It's got the big lavender thing. It's just seamless, absolutely seamless. It's so warm but light at the same time.
What about the Histoire de Parfum?
I have one Histoire de Parfum, and it's Ambra 114.
Okay. What do you think of it?
It's nice, but it's a little powdery.
Little powdery.
A little powdery.
This actually may be the brand that. Have you sampled?
I've sampled a couple of them, but what I want to do is with them, right? I want to get the entire line, or I want to get as many of the line as I possibly can. And I want to sample them as, do you know how I do that first impressions sort of style thing where I get like 4 like per video and then do like a series. I want to do that with them.
Rich, I'm actually surprised that you have not tried these yet. In fact, I'm surprised that you've only got one. Do you have this?
And which one is it?
The Amber 114?
Yeah, I've got a bottle of it. Yeah, I got one for 60 quid.
Okay.
It's a lot of perfume for 60 quid. You get a lot for your money at 60 quid. But you hear people talking about apparently there's a Fougere one which is really nice. There's Marquis de Sade, and I do know a bit about that. Like I said, I know a bit about them. I know a little bit about them.
I think that you need to try them all. Yeah. I think you need to order a sample set.
Do they do sample sets?
They do. In fact, they are like well priced, generous, and complete. I think you could buy like anything that is still being made, you can get a sample of, right? Like a 2 ml sample, they're reasonably priced. And I think that they have enough interesting scents that there'll probably be 3 or 4 that you really like. I honestly believe that.
Hold on.
Have you not tried the Fougere?
Possibly, but also possibly not. Because all it wants is to WhatsApp them, and I'll do nothing of the sort. This website uses cookies. Why can't
Are you being messaged on WhatsApp right now?
No. Well, I am, but I'm not answering. There's the Histoires de Parfum want me to WhatsApp them. I believe, and I'm not going.
You don't want to do that, but I gotta say, I think. Well, I won't go through all of them, but I think 1725 is worth it, right? So the Fougere, quite good.
5 is the Fougere. Right. It does say here, translate 24 samples for €80. Fucking hell, that's a good price. Oh, it's out of stock. Of course it's out of stock. Of course it is. Hold on. We'll come back to you in a second. This is not a blue bottle selection, apparently, too.
Are you like ylang ylang?
No, I'm not. It kind of put me off. Bois d'Azil. That and the jasmine. Ylang all right. I don't hate it, but I prefer yellow florals to white florals, but I I prefer getting punched in the face to getting punched in the dick.
I will say, like their ylang ylang is 1472. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 1472. This is phenomenal, phenomenal ylang ylang, and it's not like in that banana sort of context.
Right.
It's not super sweet. It's got this kind of like just very rich, deep, incensey base. It's lovely. It is lovely. One of my favorites as well. And then they do a lot of stuff with like incense, resins, rose, heavy woods. There's definitely like a sort of a signature. Like there's a
house DNA.
yes. You can tell that it's an HDP, but they're all, I think, worth trying. Some are far better than others. I think some of the older ones that were geared more towards, I suppose, feminine clientele aren't really my favorites, but they're worth trying.
What is your favorite female targeted fragrance?
I have to say it's probably Gallup.
Interesting.
Like I can't believe that they targeted this just towards women.
It's the rose is jammy. I get tart. I get jam.
Is that not a good thing?
Not for me. I got that. Do you know what it is? That is another case of me buying a perfume because I liked the smell and not because I was going to wear it.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't wear it. I don't like. Do you know what it smelled like to me? Right, it smelled like the rose from Mer Eglantine and the leather from Cuir de Russie. That's what it smelled like to me. And it's a good combination. It smells good, and I'd like to smell it on a woman, but not on me.
I was not a fan of Mer Eglantine.
I like the way it smells. I can't wear it.
Yeah. I think personally, and I know that there's a couple mentions in the chat, right? Like Pradeep says that it's her best. I think it's her best. I think it's actually one of the best from the house, like personally, which is sort of what makes everything that's come after such a massive disappointment. But I think that is the best female targeted fragrance I have. Okay. I guess Mauve Liberté would probably fall into that, but that's also, I mean, shit, 35, 40 years old. So
yeah, I think Mauve Liberté was an 80s fragrance, wasn't it? Because I mean, Patou used to use the Mysore sandalwood, which was outlawed in 2000.
So I got married a year and a half ago and wore Gallup.
Was that a year and a half ago?
It was, and I'm still pissed that I'm still waiting for the gift from you.
Well, yes. I mean, at this point, you will probably continue to wait, but I couldn't send you fragrance though. I'll see if I can sort something out with a Nouge or something. We'll get something out to you. Maybe a sample set. I'll get you some samples from what you send.
I think even just a pot holder, just something to show that you care.
Like a pot holder, something to put your pot in, because you live in California. I
think you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah. Yes. I would send you some. Actually, I'm going to come on to them in a minute. That's not what I was going to say. My favorite, I would probably say Mauve Liberté as well. I used to really like Rochas Femme, but I've actually gone off those opium style fragrances.
Yeah.
In a big way, actually. Sold off basically all my vintage opiums. And they're so rich and they're so narcotic and they're so heavy on the stomach. You know how you were saying before about Paddock, how it's like smell and mouth. You know, that like opium goes into your lungs and then it gets very heady and you kind of feel like, oh, I feel a bit queasy. This is too rich. I do like the Rochas Femme, and there are different versions of it throughout history, and I've got a few of them, but I really struggle to wear them now, and that is a perfume which I may very well part with most of the bottles.
Actually, a few people have mentioned the Darren Allen in the chat. Have you tried Dorian's Fougere?
That is the only one I haven't tried. Someone sent me the samples, all of the samples, apart from Dorian's Fougere. Wounded.
I know you don't need anything else, and you know, that's probably something that like you should try. That is,
I would like.
I did not do a 2024 best fragrances like that. I tried that year, but that would have been on there for sure. It is.
I think
phenomenal.
Quite good, yeah. I liked Musk Moderne, which was like an aquatic freshy cum Aventus type thing. I just found it a really easy wear, and a really like nice wear.
And you know what actually is very nice about that too, right? Just about Darren Allen in general is independent, probably doesn't have like traditional training, but the guy is making some great stuff. Like, and it's stuff that can, I think, compete with just about anything that's being put out these days.
I mean, these days, yes. 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 I think that if considering what's out there at the minute, yes, you can absolutely compete with it. There's not much stuff out there that is great as far as what's on the market available to buy at the minute.
Yeah.
It's actually, just to go back to something you said before about Nigelle's best. I actually think Paddock is her best for the house of Hermes anyway.
Okay.
I think it's far better than all the other stuff she's put out actually. But then again, I didn't like Gala.
As much as I claim to be a huge fan of Hermes, there's a lot that I still have not tried.
Oh, really?
I know I haven't tried. I mean, I've smelled it, but like Violette Volinka.
That's another one I like the smell of, but I don't want to wear.
I remember liking that. Still haven't tried. Worn it properly. Gave Barania a shot one day.
Fuck off, that's so bad. Oh,
Eugene seems to be really warming up to it. And I feel like just like his interest in it, his curiosity kind of has me considering it again as well.
I think he's hate fucking it. I think he's doing that thing he did with the Lalabos. If you remember that, where he was like, "Oh, I hate these so much, but I keep buying them," kind of thing, and like trying them and wearing them. I want to understand them, which is good. Like it's a good thing. He's like trying to get involved and like wear them and see like what it is about them he doesn't like and what he does like and all that sort of thing. But that's not the way I kind of function with stuff like that. It's like if I hate it, I hate it, I hate it.
Yeah.
And that Barenia was the drizzling shit. It was so bad. It smelled like a transition between Nigel. I actually said this at the time. Is Nigel actually opening the door for Biche to come in to Hermes and take over as the in-house perfumer? Because that was the rumor at the time. And that it smelled a bit like a Biche. It was like Hermes does Marc-Antoine Barrois.
Didn't you try Un Jardin de Citer? when we
I've
did the
tried
Paddock
that.
review.
I've tried that. Yeah, not when
Okay,
we.
because
I don't
people
think
there
we-
was I think it was Sebastian who would compare. He was like, oh, it smells kind of similar, and they are nowhere close. But actually, I actually do like Jardin du Citer.
Yeah, actually, you're actually absolutely spot on. Now you've said that about Sebastian saying that they smelled the same. I remembered it. I went in and tried it to see if they were. They're not. They're not.
I do like that, and I know it got completely, well, maybe not completely trashed, but it was not a huge favorite. It was not a hit.
It was the one that I really hated from that line was the lagoon one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just so bad. But the Silatois, brilliant. On the Nile was really good. And Monsieur Lee, I actually like Monsieur Lee as well.
See, those are all Jean-Claude Elena's.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that they were all Jean Claude Lena's, but they're the ones that I like. I think she did. Did she do the Écarlate, the rhubarb Écarlate?
Uh-huh.
I love that, but again, it's not something I want to smell of. Like I love the smell of it. I would have that as a not a candle, but like like as like a them things you put the sticks in, like a diffuser.
Uh-huh.
You know.
You know, I actually bought the new Prada Infusion de Rhubarb Infusion de Rhubarb,
Right.
and it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like rhubarb is just one of those things. Like I was not convinced that it's sort of like the standout note in a fragrance, and after that, I'm still not.
Is it Kyoto by Diptyque? Oh, that's beetroot. Isn't
Yeah.
that beetroot? Yeah, that's beetroot, isn't it? I'm thinking of the color. Rhubarb is nice as a backup, as something that you can put with a rose, or you can do, but it's not something I want to smell of.
So that Prada is actually, so it's like, kind of that iris musky base, right? Kind of goes, that common thread throughout all those infusions. But this actually is, there has to be a strawberry note in it. There has to be.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
It's gross. Like it's one of those fragrances that like you smell and you go, oh, that's nice. And then like you instantly move on.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And
Nice
I
is
think,
a four-letter word kind of thing.
I think we're at the point where like nice just isn't cutting it anymore.
Yes.
So
Yes. That's what I say. I say that a lot on the live streams. Nice is a four-letter word, and it can be nice, but it can also be nice. It can be like, no, that's nice.
mhm.
It's like nice isn't nice.
It's like somebody showing you a picture of their child and you go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
You go,
that's an ugly fucking. I'm not going to do anything to harm it, and if it cried, I'd be like, shut up. But like, I'm not gonna I just can't. I can't get with that ugly-headed child.
the I think rhubarb was done expertly in that first 80s De Venustus, like their signature.
Oh, 80s de Venustus by L'Artisan. I think that's
No, it's the one from the one that they released. It's just called 80s De Venustus.
Yeah, the wasn't that they took that from the L'Artisan, because L'Artisan made a perfume for the shop, and then the shop took that perfume and released it under their own name. That was my understanding.
No, so there was like in the here. Let me just get it. Let's see here. This right here. So just 80s De Venustus. I know. These are the best. So they this was like the first from their line, and then when they rebottled everything, like in those like kind of like those circular cut glass with a kind of it's called Signature.
Yes. I've smelled Signature. It's quite nice. It's nice.
It's like tomato, incense, rhubarb. Oh, it is phenomenal. It's
Yes.
like a warm spring day version of Chypre Palatin. Like the
Good.
two are so close. They're so close. I mean, they're both made by same guy, but phenomenal.
Like that's a nice perfume, but it's nice. It's actually good, nice.
Well, so when I was trying that Prada, I was like, okay, this is nice. And then I put on the 80s Ave Venustus, right? So kind of competing, one here, and I'm like going, holy shit,
Yeah,
dude, this 80s is so good.
yeah. Like
It's just
veggie kind of thing. Like it's got the tomato kind of. I think tomato always gives like real character to a perfume. Like gives it some real standout. Like it's almost like a twist of madness. You know.
I think that Thomas once used the phrase, like he was like something about like vegetal sexiness, right? And you know what that is?
Become like sexually like mature kind of thing.
It's just sexy, and it kind of smells like a vegetable. So I'm not exactly, a wizard with my words, right? But that's probably a good way of describing that. Now they're not going to put that in any ad copy, but it's 100% my experience.
A sexy vegetable like Christopher Reeves. Have you ever smelled Infusion Dom?
Oh God, yes.
So do you like Infusion Dom?
Yeah, you know what? That was my signature for 3 or 4 years, and I got really tired of it, and I put it away, and then I tried it a few years later, and it's absolutely brilliant. It is masterful. That is an incredible fragrance.
What is it about it that you like?
You know what? I think going back to it, you can enjoy it like as a whole, right? Sort of like the overall aura, right? Like the feel of it is very clean, soapy. It's distinct though. Like it's very unique. But that spending more time with it and really trying to understand it, its component parts begin to show themselves, right? When you're actually paying attention, right? It's kind of like, what's that painting that's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? The boat party.
Right, yes.
Right, where you can go up close, right, and see the beautiful detail and how like abstract and like how all these common shapes interact with each other to create something that is grand when you step back and look at it.
Yes.
I think that's like the mark of a great fragrance, or at least a great fragrance like that one.
Yeah. So I get that from Dior Homme, the original 2005 version. I find it very intricate. I find it very everything is defined. Its definition. Everything has you can see everything in the same focus right up close to it as you can when you step back from it. It's not like something like it's not something like a Velasquez painting where like you go right up close to it and it's like splodges, because there's a genius in that as well. There's absolute genius in that as well. It's like you go up close and you can see all these. It's almost as if like what lets you down is your vision. Like your vision, your frame rate, your ability to actually capture what you're smelling is what lets you down, not the actual fragrance itself. You give out before the fragrance yields its kind of like secrets, you know, and you can get right up close to it. You can smell all these different bits in the fragrance, and then when you step away from it, you get the whole, you know, you get the full picture, you get everything that's there.
Yeah, I think it's one of the. I mean, if I had to point to, a good example of something that is, I think, that can be universally loved and appreciated, but also uh, that's safe for the nerds to claim as their own, right? Like, the people like you and I.
Yes.
That I think Infusion Dome is one of those.
Yes. Which was it translated into? Was it Infusion de Iris or Infusion Iris Cidre? It was renamed. It was renamed when they introduced that line.
I think they still have all of the notes. I'm sure that we could probably look on Fragrantica and find out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Excuse me. Okay, I wanted to ask you about this next house that I have. But first, let me tell people to like the stream.
yeah,
Like the stream, motherfucker.
I'm actually going to dislike the stream.
Beast. You waif. You rogue. You knave. Do you know much about this house? And if so, what do you think?
Oh, is that house? Is that Matriarch?
That is Matriarch.
I don't know anything.
You know nothing.
Well, I know, but I have never experienced.
Okay. Because you went through quite a phase with the indies and stuff like that, like the real independents and stuff. I remember watching videos about you talking to like different people who made lots of like independent perfumes and stuff.
And living, I know that the person who runs the brand, I feel like her name might be Liz.
Christy
Maybe
Mitchell.
Okay. I had actually thought of like reaching out to her and seeing if she was interested in doing a sort of a short video.
Okay.
But never got around to it. And now I don't live up there. So
yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of them?
The first thing to say, and it is one of the most remarkable things about the brand, is that they are stupendously overpriced.
But they're always like 50% off.
Exactly. So what she does is and I know through contacts and people who have talked to her and stuff that she prices them really high. So it's like the Veblen effect.
Mm-hmm.
The whole it's high price, so it must be good. It's to give the effect of these perfumes are high quality. They are outrageously high priced, and they should absolutely fucking not be that price, anywhere near that price. For an indie house, the ones I like smell really good. There's a couple of shitters in there. I've got this black number 1 here. That's actually really nice, and I can imagine wearing it. I've got Sex Magic here, which is quite nice, and I can imagine wearing that. And then I've got this Sacre Tabac Sucre, which it's got a touch of fumery Turk about it. It's got that kind of tobacco, aromatic Turkish tobacco sort of thing, very, very kind of flavorful tobacco. And then this one here, which is Sacre Noir, which I don't like. I don't like that. And there's a couple of other ones I've got. I've got Kazemi, which I really, really, really like. It's a really watery, dense, slightly spicy rose. And if you look on Fragrantica, right, the note listing is about 15 different roses.
Okay.
Seriously, it's got 20 different notes and like 50 of them are rose. So it's got like rows from here, rows from there. It's really good.
So are you going to sell some of those?
I'm going to sell all 4 of those that I've just shown you there.
Even the one you like?
Yes, because I don't wear it.
Hmm.
I don't wear it. I never wear it. I want to wear me perfumes. I remember having this conversation with Ramsey a while ago. I don't want my collection to be a museum anymore. I don't want my collection to be like I've got stuff sitting there for reference. You know, like you said earlier on, you would rather have $500 and just not buy the perfume. You know, like I would rather now have the money than have the perfume that I've got. You know,
Did I say that?
you said you were talking about something. We were talking about a perfume, and you were like, "This is like 500. I would rather have the $500 than that perfume."
Well, I do remember bad mouthing this CDG and going, why the fuck do I have this?
Yes, it's kind of I've kind of amalgamated your kind of feeling towards that perfume with the point you made about would I spend $500 on a perfume? It's good, but it's not so good that I would spend that money on it. Was it Ruardi? Yes, it was Ruardi.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was Ruardi, and it's like well, I just as well have the money.
Well, I in my experience, there was, I think as I get older, the more I realize that it's like shit just weighs you down. At least shit that you don't really necessarily want, or it's not really adding to. It's not really adding any value.
Yeah.
Even stuff that like that I've hauled around for 20 years. When I finally got rid of it, like I never gave it a second thought.
Yes.
So it's one of those things that's like, I love the hobby. I love the friends. I love fragrance. But like at the end of the day, like if I had to give all of this up for like my wife or my family, right? Or just
the dog.
Probably just about anything, right? That there's far more important things out there in the world.
Yeah. And it's nice. I think part of it is I was going to make an analogy there. It's that you're stronger when you're younger, so it's easier to carry stuff around with you. Like when you're young, you've got this kind of blind you've got the energy to carry things, and you've got the energy to carry it kind of information and emotions and grudges, and you've got the energy to carry all of this baggage around with you, whether it be physical or emotional or mental. And then as you get older, it's a lot easier with wisdom and age and experience to let stuff go and think, actually, I'm just going to be able to keep going without this. And what you once thought was important is no longer so. Like
Yep.
there was a time when I was like, fuck, if I don't have this, I'm going to pop. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
And then you
sometimes
get it, and then you
get,
put it in a drawer and you forget about it.
yep, exactly. And it's very true of fragrances as well. It's very true of fragrances. It's there's there's because you can only really wear one at a time, and it's not just about being able to wear them, it's about being able to possess them. You know what I mean? Like the actual act of owning it and then going into the social, like the communal space and being like, I've got this, and everyone being like, ooh, that's very important when you first get there.
You know what's great though, and this is just good to experience, is being out in the real world and looking for that same validation and not getting it.
Yes.
That is, like, people just go, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You do need it. It does feel like you need to just like sort of get out there a bit more and just being like, and just being like, fuck, this isn't that important to other people.
Well, I do actually get free stuff all the time. Like it's not given to me because of like YouTube, but like I get free fragrances all the time, right, from work.
Yes.
And if you don't really like if you're just getting stuff that you don't really that doesn't really speak to you or doesn't appeal to you or you're not really interested in, it's no different than like shit you get in the mail, right? Or like having to go and clean out somebody's, house or like, hey, it's like it just isn't appealing, right? The idea of like having just boxes of garbage sent to me. Like let's just say like let's say I had been doing a video every single day for the last 8 years, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably have 50, 100,000 viewers or subscribers. But like the crap that you'd probably have to sort through every single day, it's like I can't imagine.
Would you do it for money?
No.
That's kind of that's the equation that I always apply to the sort of the question you posed there. Would I bother doing this for money? I think that with the fragrances, the way I feel about them, and because I love it so much, I think the fact that I wouldn't, I think the fact that I wouldn't do it for money is I wouldn't bastardize it by doing it for money, I suppose, is what I'm sort of saying. I kind of feel like it's quite important to us, and like the positioning in my head I've carved out for myself, and the position in reference to other people in the community I've kind of got. I quite value it, and I quite value, because the thing is, right, is that you can actually stand behind it yourself. There are a lot of people who are making content out there, like you said, who have done a video every day, every other day, 3 times a week, shorts, everything. I don't know that those people, even for the money, the incentive of money that they've been given, I don't know that they can actually stand behind the things that they're saying. And it feels like they've become something else. They aren't what they started out as. They've lost that kind of passion. Some of them probably didn't have the passion in the first place. I can think of a few off the top of my head, but we'll not get into names when other people are on the stream.
That's that's a good. That's that's probably good. Yeah, I think one, I actually had a career before I went public, right? Before I started a channel, right? So whatever AdSense money was going to pale in comparison with, just the day to day of a paycheck. And, two, I think that just personality wise, I'm not naturally ostentatious or somebody that kind of like wants to pursue that sort of kind of like personality driven, marketing driven. I need to make money off of, like, I think part of it too is probably like just, I hate to say this, like self-esteem problems. Like I can't turn it off. There's too much self-doubt.
I couldn't look at myself. I could not. I don't know. It sounds dramatic when you say it like this, but I couldn't fucking live with myself if I was doing that every day. It would eat at us. It would make us feel ill. I'd be like, you'd be able to tell. That's another thing as well. You'd totally be able to tell I was talking shit. You'd totally be able to tell, because I wouldn't be like passionate about it. I don't think there's enough money out there that could get me to a point where I could lie that convincingly about something. Like I don't think money, like, or clout is that important to me that I feel like I would be willing or even able to go out there and do what some of those people do. It's so fucking, it must be so bad. It must be so hard. And do you know what it is? You made a really good point there, actually. And I thought about this. You were talking about self esteem because everybody has their moments where they're like, fucking hell, should like, what am I doing? You know, like the song by Radiohead, Creep, what the hell am I doing here? You know, I don't belong here. You know, it's like, it's like there's, there's, I think when you talk about self esteem, I think there are, I hear you say that, I think some of these people who do that kind of thing and are ostentatious and do that, they have far more severe pathologies than that. I think that there are people out there who have got some real. I mean, we've talked about how fucking mental Fragcom is sometimes, like, or like a lot of the time. But I think there are some people out there who have got real self-esteem issues, and especially, and then you could extrapolate that out to wider social media stuff. You know, like there's that guy. I don't know if you've heard of. I can't remember what he's called Johnny something. He's in South Korea at the minute. He's looking at getting about. He's looking at getting about a dozen years in a South Korean prison, right? Because he's like, and he's done this all over the world as well. He's gone to different places in the world, and he just upsets people. He just goes up to them and does mad shit, and people just keep beating him up, right? And I swear this is absolutely true. I've been following this story for a while. It's really strange, and no one likes him, and no one gives a shit about him. And he's gone to South Korea, which is the worst place in the world to go up and start upsetting the public because it's a very kind of regimented society, heavy on respect, heavy on fucking things. He's gone there and he's taken it. He's basically just made a complete dick of himself, and he's been fucking hurting people. And you always see him. He's got cuts on his face. He's got black eyes. He's got fucking thing. He's been arrested in South Korea, and he's like, I don't know. I don't even think he's on bail. He's looking at about a dozen years, and he's like, mate, you're doing this for like the smallest crumb of clout on the internet. There's only internet denizens who know who this person is. He's not viral. He's not fucking done anything. He got a little bit. He got a little bit of attention about 2 years ago for doing it. Johnny Somali, that's right. He's called Johnny Somali. If you want to look him up, he is just exactly who the fuck is Johnny Somali, and he's gone out there and he's prostituted himself to the point where he's going to do double digits, right? He's going to do double digit years in prison because he's been chasing clout. And it's like you see that. I mean, our concern is the fragrance community, but there are other communities, and there are just general people out there, and you see the mental shit that people say and do. Fucking, it's madness, and it kind of makes me think maybe it's a little lack of self doubt. Maybe it's like a little bit of like lacking a little bit of self esteem. It's not great. I don't like it, and it plays on my mind, and I wish that it would be. But that's kind of more. I kind of have come to the thing in my mind where I'm like, I'm also a perfectionist. I want everything to be perfect, otherwise I get anxious. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of have figured out about myself is that I need to accept things as they're not as they're not perfect. But I've been chasing that because if everything can just be right, then I'll stop feeling like shit. And I'll stop feeling like shit about myself. I'll stop feeling like shit about other people. I'll stop feeling shit about the world. You know, if everything can just be all right, if I can just reach that little point, and it just doesn't happen. And then you go out there on the internet and you look at these people and they're in Fragcom and the things they say and they do because they're being paid to say it, or they've been sent free fucking bottles. Imagine making a liar of yourself for all the world to see because you got a free bottle of fucking Latafa, of Zerjoff, of fucking anything. You know what I mean? And there are people out there who do that, and there's people who compromise themselves repeatedly, you know? And it's a fucking disaster. it's an absolute disaster for those people. I think that witnessing that is one of the it's kind of one of the blessings of the internet, because before the internet you used to lie awake at night thinking, fucking hell, I'm the only person in the world who feels this way. I'm the only person in the world who's an absolute idiot and a lunatic and a loser and a fucking creep. And then you go out there and you look on the internet and you're like, what the fuck are they doing over there?
You're like, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's not quite so bad, but I agree with you that I couldn't do that. I couldn't justify it to myself. I suppose if I could justify it to myself, I would do it. I don't know if I'd be any good at it. Many have tried. Many have tried and many have failed, and the ones who have got it right, I don't envy them. I don't envy them. I look at people like I'm going to be kind to them, like Gent Sense, like Ashton. I know you. I know you have been around in the fragrance community for a long time as well. I remember when Ashton first started making videos, he was standing at the bottom of the stairs, or he was at the alcove in his house with the bricks behind him and at the table and stuff, and he would talk about perfumes. He's into his type of fragrances are kind of like the same that I kind of like. He likes those 80s classics. He likes your Fahrenheits. He likes your fucking he likes your Choroses. He did an 80s playlist where he did like 80s stylized videos, and he was really good at it. And I think he got clout for talking about designer perfumes, and then he's followed, or he's been part of that kind of thing towards the clones, but he's gone to the moon with clones. And the thing is, I can forgive Ashton, and I do forgive Ashton, even hypocritically, and I don't give him a rough time, because he's not jet setting to fucking Dubai. He's not going to all these fragrance meetups. He's paying for his family. You know what I mean? There's love, there's children involved, there's a house, there's a wife. You know what I mean?
Well, when you say forgiveness, maybe he doesn't want your forgiveness.
He doesn't need my forgiveness. It's to myself. It's when I talk to myself. It's like, like when you're forming your opinions about shit that's happening, or shit that's, you're totally right. He doesn't need my permission or my forgiveness or anything. You know what I mean? But I kind of, when I think about that in that specific instance, it's like, to me, it's not egregious. I don't get wound up about it. You know what I mean? It doesn't, like, I think to myself, well, I know he's into the fragrances that I was into. Maybe I'm just, to be honest, there's no sort of, I have no right to say this. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm not the arbiter. I'm not like God sitting there in judgment on people. That's just kind of what I think of it, and what I kind of justify to myself as well. I don't get irate like I see these other people who come in, and they just basically vomit at the screen for like 5 minutes and then tell you to go and buy this shit.
Yeah. I think just having some experience with, and I'm speaking specifically to some of like the things that you feel, or that that you're experiencing, is that it's a big world. Everybody has, there is complicated and conflicted as probably you and I are, just in different ways. And that, at the end of the day, I hope they look in the mirror and they like what they see. I think that's all that really matters. And I think that's probably kind of the big thing that matters for me, right? Is like, I can't be perfect. I can't expect anyone else to be perfect. There's only certain things that I can control. And 99% of the things that I can control are about me, and just I think even just being able to have that, I can't say I always live up to that ideal. In fact, I rarely do, but just kind of recognizing that and realizing that um, I am not at the center of everything, you know, is really liberating.
Yes.
In fact, I would probably say more than anything. And now, granted, I'm on it's 2:30 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'm on a live stream.
You're on a
But
live stream with someone who claims to be a duck from England.
but I you know what I think that I sort of am on like this quest of normalcy, and I'm a little slow to it, you know. But when you know, just I think like this desire for normalcy is like the sort of this desire for just like being okay with me and the world around me,
Yes.
you know, and spending time doing the shit that matters, doing things that matter. Um, and in fact, I mean, even just hanging out with you, like this is actually something that matters to me, right?
Yes.
It's not about like, oh, this is good, flex, you know, like that kind of shit, but just more like, you know, Rich
No, I
Mitch.
agree with you.
He's my bud.
Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. Hanging out with Galen and Eugene and Thomas and Ramsey and everyone that's on the Discord. And that's kind of like the way that that's my direction of travel. I keep using that phrase about myself. Like I like to think I'm going in the direction of which you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like I want to be more at peace with myself and the world around us and my immediate thing. I do find other people fascinating from a distance, you know. Um, in real life, um, people are more terrifying in real life, you know. But on the internet, I watch these people do things, and it's like you see their masks, and you see the presentation they put to the world, and you think, oh, I wonder what the motivation is behind that. I wonder what that, and it's all nice and good. You can do that on the internet because everyone's at a safe fucking distance. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of, to me, that exposes something about myself that I find quite difficult about being human, you know, which is other humans.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, and you get irate. I mean, as you say, you get irate. I get irate about things, and I get ranty. And I would say, and it's true when I say it, part of that is shtick. Part of that is because it's funny when you see somebody do or say mental shit or like funny shit, put stuff in a funny kind of way, you know, and they're angry about something and it's totally pointless and it's totally futile and there's nothing that they can actually fucking do, you know. But at the same time, it's like I'm also very frustrated with my own situation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some truth in there as well as part of like the shtick. Um, I find the most the best part about this is, like you said, being with Galen, being with Eugene, being with Thomas, being with like the people I've actually met from Fragcom, and like the sending parcels around the world, the connections you make, and the different people you meet, the people that you would have never like. These people don't exist really outside of my fucking immense and terrible dome, but like it's that's become like me world. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
find it quite hard at the minute, especially with the health thing. Is I find it quite difficult to interact with the real world. And like you said, it's the things that matter, and the community aspect of it really matters for me. I really like it. And then I see other people out there, and they're like, well, I don't really give a shit about the community, really. I'm just there to like squeeze them and get them to buy stuff and get them to fucking leave a like and watch the ads on YouTube and Instagram and all that sort
Good for
of
them.
Yeah, well, that's it. You see, that's the trick for me is to get to that place, and I'm like, do you know what it is? You say good for them, I say fuck you. Like, just go, just be released from me, and be away, and everything's. The thing is that the difference is that like yours is subtly more positive and mine is subtly, well, it's not subtly, but it's more negative. And I think the trick is because I would quite like to be in that happy place where I'd like to be in that happy place where it was, I wish the best for them.
You know, that, yeah. And I think that the more you get out and the more you meet people, the more that you're going to want to get out and meet people.
Yes.
You know, and I say that simply because, you know, without actually talking to others, it's really hard to have reflected back to me the way that I come across, right? Or the way that my words or my presence are being received. You know, someone the other day at work had said to me, she was introducing me to someone and she was being very complimentary. She's like, Galen is the very best at doing A, B, and C. Right. And I made like a face or I'm like, oh, sure. And she goes, when you doubt yourself, I doubt you.
Yes.
And I'm like,
fuck. I'd have voted that out loud. That would have just came out.
That was exactly what I thought. I was like, you're totally right. And the thing that she was talking about, right? On a you know, totally honest level, I'm like, yes. I was like, I am good. What she's the compliment she's paying me, I believe is 100% true, right? And yet I was unwilling or unable to accept it at face value, right?
Yes.
Which is a great lesson, you know. And that's the kind of stuff that, you know, if I'm not willing or able to put myself into situations like that, I mean, I would never have experienced it, right? And there's also things that, I mean, for, you know, decades, like I had thought to myself, I go, is it me? Like, or am I just like unemployable? Like, am I just like unlikable? You know? And today the answer is actually no. It's just that I never found the place that I belonged.
Yes.
You know? And there's a place for everyone. You just have to find it. Yes. Right? You don't have to put up with the shit that you're dealing with today. Right? Yeah. If you're unhappy somewhere or with someone, you have the ability to change yourself.
Yes. And you never lose that ability to change yourself either. It's easier when you're young, but you never lose that plasticity. You never lose that kind of malleable thing, because it's what makes humans so great as like the actual top like of the chain is that adaptability, you know.
Well, you know, when I was younger, I was like totally unteachable.
Yep.
I could not be taught. I could not be coached because I was the world's smartest person. And then when I began to realize that that might not be the case, I became an asshole. Right? It's like, I mean, and it wasn't until decades later that I began to realize it's like, you know, actually not knowing something is a good thing. Yes. Right? Being teachable is a good thing. I mean, yeah, I've lost the brain elasticity, right? But I'm actually trying to learn French right now.
Oh Christ!
I'm about 3 weeks in.
This is a revelation. You've not told us this before.
So, well, yeah. I mean, so you know this, right? I work for a French company. My boss is French. Everybody in charge is French. And I'm like, you know what? I like what I'm doing. I like where I'm at. There's a shit ton of opportunity. It might be good for me to learn a little bit of French. Now, and my brain is not particularly well suited to it anymore, but it's kind of fun.
Fuck. I mean, to be fair, they'll appreciate you trying, if nothing else. You know what I mean? It'll show intent. But fucking, I was appalling. Like you say, I was unteachable at school, especially at school. But I had other issues going on, and I just struggled with other people, you know. And I think it's because I was struggling with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there's definitely, I think there's definitely, I think there's definitely a correlation, you know. But I think you're right about finding your people.
Well, Rich, I did see that picture of you from like middle school,
Yes, fucking hell, that was high school.
and you were struggling with the hair gel
Ah, the fucking hair gel was immense.
and the brush down that you had going too.
The girls loved it. The girls loved it. I swear to God. Yeah, 2000, 2001, they were fucking loving it. It was mental. It's crazy how shit changes. Although they did start fucking bringing back the old. There weren't tips. What I would do is I would bleach my hair all over, and then wait about 2 weeks for the roots to come through, and then I would get the sides shaved. Right, I would get the sides shaved, like short back and sides, right, and then it would be like tipped on top, and it would look great, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's not really a problem that I have anymore. You know, it's not something I have to worry about these days. It's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
But yes.
I'm sorry for throwing in the insult.
Do you know what it is? I'll find that pic. No, I actually know where it is, but I'm not getting up and going to get it. But I do actually know where it is. I'll post it in the Discord or somewhere like that. It's fucking. It's a very young and fresh faced me.
I actually, you should post that in the Discord. That was an incredible photo.
I'll tell you what, it's very strange to look back and see and look at that and think I was fucking even more angry back then than I am now. I was even more irate at the time. That's what photos can do though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things that's like, I think that youthful arrogance and angst, I can totally appreciate it and I can deal with it like in a teenager or a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But like when you're like 40 or 50 and you're being a shitbird, there's some serious problems.
Yes, it is. It's the man child, isn't it? It's that retardation of growth. That
Do you post a link to the Discord on your channel?
not recently, no. I can do if people want to see it.
It's actually, I'm a lurker there like I am everywhere else.
Yes, that's right. Galen's a lurker.
But I'd say if anyone wants to join the Discord, they should join.
It's quite friendly. We don't have any front bums. I've only ever had to ban one person. That's because they said something fucking outrageous about fucking just about women in general. To be fair, if you give us a second, and it wasn't necessarily a case of being woke. It was a case of, ooh, that's not very fucking nice. Why would you say something so fucking absolutely awful? Fuck off. You know what I mean? Don't say fucking horrible shit. Please go away and don't come back. There's a link to the Discord if people want
sweet. There we go.
If people want to join. Oh, James has posted one as well. I keep forgetting I've got people for that, you know what I mean? It's bonkers to me. It's still a wonder for me to behold that there are people who want to be around us and want to be around the things that I say because I haven't experienced that to this kind of degree before. Like I've had friends and stuff. I'm not like fucking a social outcast and stuff, and I make friends quite easily most of the time. But it's usually like um, it's usually been quite difficult and quite hard. This is easy, like you say. I think I found me people. I do think that that's a very very astute and profound sort of thing you've said there. I've got a friend whose son is he's got autism. It's not like severe, it's not like, but he couldn't. I mean, he was like 4 or 5, bless him, and he was at school and they were having to segregate him, and I was like, fucking hell, like he would scream, please don't make us go to school and all that sort of thing. And then they finally managed to get him into a special educational needs school, and now he stood at the foot of the bed at fucking 7:30 in the morning, and he's like, take me to school. You know what I mean? He's found his people, you know, and he loves it because that's where he loves it. He's got a friend, he's got a girlfriend, he's got um he's got everything, and he loves it, and it's fantastic. And it's amazing to think, that he is not gonna he is not gonna he's not gonna suffer with not having his people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Good.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Rich, we're at 2:21. I think I should probably go. Remember I was talking about taxes?
Oh God Almighty!
I
Yes.
actually have to do them.
Do you? So this is bonkers. Do you not have pay as you go, pay as you earn over there?
No. Well, you do, but then you have to do like a true up at the end of the year. You have to go through and you say, oh, well, I also owned stocks, or I sold stocks, or I sold a house, or I paid mortgage, mortgage interest. Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm so glad I'm potless, apart from all the fragrances and everything else.
Yeah. You have to claim all. Yeah. It's a big boondoggle. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. It's a fucking nightmare. I would definitely, if I was in charge of the world and could snap my fingers, one of the things I'd do is make taxes simple,
mhm.
because we all know we've got to have them, and everyone wants that to be less. It's kind of like perfume, really, isn't it? You've got to have them. There should be less of them, but you prefer if there were good ones. You know, that's a reach. That
Mm,
is a reach.
that actually that's a fair analogy.
Yeah, I would just
Mhm.
prefer if the quality of the taxes was better, if there were less of them, and they need they need to actually be decent. You know,
Yeah, well, that's a topic for another day.
that is a topic that we will never fucking discuss until
No.
next time.
And as a resident of California, I am confident that I could speak at length at the quality and cost of services around here.
Oh, honestly, you should fucking England. Honestly, fucking mental. It's. I'll say one thing about my insight into other human beings and their behavior and my ability to predict the future. I voted last year based solely on one issue, which was how the future government would treat the disabled. Last week, we got fucking clattered by them. They just went, fuck you all. We fucking hate you, you freeloading bastards, and suffer. And it's like, cheers for that. And that has just been the story of my entire life as far as politics is concerned. You know what I mean? It's mental. Also, I keep hearing about the price of eggs in America. What the fuck?
I think it depends on the quality of eggs, but I bought like some decent. Well, California is also brutally expensive too. I got a dozen eggs for $9 the other day.
I don't even know what that's about. £7. Yeah, that's expensive as fuck. Even over here, that's expensive as fuck. But there's chickens everywhere, you fucker. You ever thought about getting some chickens? Are you allowed them?
I can't have chickens here, but yeah, I don't want chickens. I had chickens when I was a kid.
All right, okay. They do smell a bit funny, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're back to Paddock, right? We're back to the Paddock conversation, right?
Smell.
You got the chicken
Imagine if that
manure.
was the next thing. It went from horses to chicken perfume.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
A little bit of cow in between.
You could have like sage with your chicken and like onion. You could have an onion note. You know, you could have like gravy note, or you could have like the animalic chicken thing. So you'd have like chicken shit and feather. You could have feather notes.
It's not good. There's nothing good about that
with a chicken fragrance, like. But okay, I will let you go. I will continue for a little while.
Oh, fabulous! All right. Well, thank you, Rich. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciated it. It has been fabulous.
And I apologize to the chat for ignoring them. I was keeping an eye, but they are lovely. I love them.
Yes, the chat takes care of itself. I often say I just put on a live stream so they can all congregate and talk to each other.
That's actually... It is 100% true.
It is absolutely true. I have no problem with that one bit. I just come in and just take part with the rest. Well, it's like a lot of people who watch me stream will say, "Fucking hell, you actually read the chat," and I'm like, "Well, it's their, it's them. That's why people come." You know what I mean? There's like a lot of other, like you watch some other live streams that just pay no attention to the chat, and it's like,
I think on my tombstone it's going to say, "Right here lies Galen, husband, son, Rich Mitch live stream moderator." It's one of my greatest accomplishments.
You could have a little wrench on your tombstone. You know what I mean? Just a tiny little wrench, and like maybe it's like a little
instead of a cross.
Just a little rubber duck on it. There'll be like people, like all the moderators on the channel, like there'll be people in like future years where they'll be like, you know how people go and visit famous graves. You know what I mean? People will be like, "Oh, I've been to all the Rich Mitch moderator graves around the world," you know?
Incredible. It's, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you later, Rich.
Very much. Say thank you to Galen, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you, boss.
It's me. Oh, God, when I'm blown up bigger like this, you really get the orange tinge in my beard. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm not going to stay too much longer, friends, but like the stream. Like the stream, friends, if you like liking streams. I haven't been paying attention to the chat either, if I'm being honest. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Oh, I'm fucking battered. Sorry. Just chucking shit on the floor. Oh, look, everybody's fucking leaving now. But Galen's gone. Yes, that's it. Go to Galen's channel and bother him about making more videos. Can you read the whole chat back now? No. It's Henry VIII. Loads of people say that. I get that shit all the fucking time. You know? Can't imagine having 6 wives, though. Fucking hell. Imagine the cost. Great flowing stream. Yes, it's easy. You know? It's easy. I don't think I've ever had a stream where I struggled to talk to people. You know? I don't feel like I have. Oh, let's just... Got a 2016 bottle of Linstant. L'Homme Ideal. It's not Linstant at all. What the fuck did I say that for? Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Very sweet. Oh, it's very strange to look back on perfumes that came out like 10 years ago. It is a good thing Galen's a good listener. I saw him draw breath quite a few times to speak and then let it out. Let it out before he actually managed to say what he wanted to a few times. Oh, what a day. I am battered, like, I am battered. Made the mistake of going to town on Friday and after I'd taken poison on fucking Thursday night. And I don't think I've actually pulled myself round from that. You know? Oh, I actually hear how similar the two Paddocks are. I didn't actually hear how similar the two Paddocks are. They're the same. They are the same. PS5 this week, yes. I was going to do it tonight, and then I texted Galen and I said, "Do you want to stream today?" And he was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm so tired. So, this is like one meeting at work, says Proddy. Drop the link. No, I'm not dropping the link. I'm going in a minute. Seriously, if I had any extra energy, I mean, we can do that one night if you want to come on, Dahlia. They're the same. Video idea scrapped. I mean, to be fair, I could do it as a short. You know what I mean? I could do it as a short. So that would be nice. Oh, look at my smooth dome. God, it's so fucking like an effervescent egg. Oh, vintage 2024, my dear pony version of Paddock is the best. That is our story, and we shall stick to it, Proddy. I have the vintage presentation. We will see. Oh, I've decided to sell everything, says Metro K. What, based on this stream? Jesus. I don't know why. I don't know why. Proddy only says this because it came with free toilet paper. It's not toilet paper, actually. Poo-poo paper is not toilet paper. It's paper made out of shit. Yikes. I didn't get any poo-poo paper this time. Fuming. Fuming I am. Venom. Hate in my heart. You know? Anger. Misery. Resentment. Jim R, thank you very much for coming, mate. I appreciate that you are subscribed. You are a legend. And I totally agree with what you said about how the community's gone to shit. You've been around since fucking longer than me, I think. Proddy for the perfumer's batch. Yeah, Proddy did get the perfumer's batch. Aged inside a fine straw barrel. What a lot of bollocks. The barrel stuff's such a lot of shit. Jesus Christ. Okay. Got up to 85, I think, on this stream today. And I've had enough. It's 11 o'clock at night here. And so I'm going to go to bed. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you are feeling well. I hope you've liked the stream. Thank you very much for watching, for commenting and liking. I will be doing some more reviews and probably starting a sample set this week. I haven't decided which one. I keep changing my mind. But anyway, thanks very much, everybody. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.